Hello guys, DJParson here, back for the next game of the International Championship, and this time it's gonna be me against Mushan, Octavian and Demiris. So against Mushan, Demiris and Octavian, and we have the second turn. Mushan took Engineering Genius for himself, that's pretty nice. Now we can take probably one of these Wonders and Rich Land. I like that quite a bit. And then my favorite wonder is Roman Roads. Let's first have a quick look what is in the game. We have Sid Meier, Bill Gates, and Marlene Dietrich. No Pierre and no Red Cross, but Manhattan Project is here. No Bach, but Nobel. Catherine, Watt, Suez Canal, but no Cook. Then there is Oceanliner Service and Universitas, Zizka, Saladin, Joan of Arc, Nostradamus. Those are all four very, very strong leaders and 4 players, I believe. Oh, I think. And then leaders from HA. But we have to see which one we can get, because I think we're gonna go with this. Roman Roads, really, really nice. Rich Land, really, really nice. Alternatively, I could pick like Cleopatra, but then maybe I don't get any of these wonders. So this seems pretty good, so I'm gonna go with that. Demiris will take Cleopatra and the Hanging Gardens, and Octavian will take Growth and the Colosseum. And a couple of more leaders come down. Mushan will take Moses, build a mine. Okay, so yeah, we can't take any of these leaders now at the moment. I mean, I'm definitely gonna build up a mine, increase population. I could take Alex or Caesar now, but I think I prefer maybe Urban Growth. Then Demiris already has one. Octavian will probably take Alex or Caesar, and then we get Sun Tzu, which is definitely okay. So taking Urban Growth for the lab next turn. And then something that doesn't need civil actions. We need to finish the Roman Roads with a lot of steps, so I don't want to take Stockpile or Cultural Heritage. Frugality or Rich Land seem a lot better. And generally I like Rich Land more. But we only built our 3rd mine, and we don't know if we gonna build another one or if we're gonna upgrade to iron. So you could take Frugality. I think I'm gonna go with Rich Land still. And then see what we can draw. It is Uncertain Borders. Okay, so we can definitely go for something really military heavy. Uncertain Borders would be very good for that. Maybe Sun Tzu, and then play that. Demiris goes for Cleopatra and doesn't want that first turn lab apparently. Octavian will go with Alex here. Mushan will open up Development Settlement, so free population. He goes and takes Pyramids. So we can maybe go for Sun Tzu. Oh, very early Zizka. Very, very early Zizka. We don't have a tactic yet. Whew, this is an early Zizka. That is... I mean, I also like very early Saladin. We could skip Sun Tzu, go for Saladin this turn. Take extra civil actions and then build that lab. So next turn we can finish the Roman Roads. We get extra civil actions with Saladin for that. So we probably don't commit to the Uncertain Borders. Also I don't want like extra 2 resources. That would give us corruption if we want to go for this. So we could go for Zizka as well, like take him. Not elect him yet. Just keep him. But then we still don't have a leader. We don't have a tactic yet. So I think this early, I mean I probably like Zizka still more, but he costs 3. So with Saladin we can elect him this turn, which is a big bonus. Because we can go for this and already get our next civil action up. So we're gonna have 5 civil actions from now on. That's gonna be really helpful with the Roman Roads. Yeah, not sure about passing on Zhishka, but this early for 3 civil actions, that's a tough decision. If you had a good tactic already, we could go for that, but for now Zhishka would only give us 1 military action, and Saladin will give us 1 civil action, which is gonna be a lot better. And especially with the Roman roads, we're gonna need a lot of civil actions, so we spend 3 civil actions on taking Zhishka, and we don't get any civil actions back. It's gonna be really hard to finish the Roman roads, and Saladin will give us the civil actions back. So I think I'll go with that. Yeah, seems good, and then take the civil action, of course. And draw more colonization cards, okay. Yeah. I guess we don't play the Uncertain Borders ever, because Jan Zhishka should by all means be the strongest player pretty soon. And Demers opens Development of Science, so some extra science for us. Also doesn't take Zhishka, but Swordsman for 2. Interesting. And then Octavian won't play something, but he does take Zhishka and builds. Lab already has a tactic, so let's go for him. And Mushan will go with Development of Civil Life and goes to Joan of Arc and Theology. Ah, that's a combo, so okay. And I don't think I'm going to play this Uncertain Borders now. Nah, don't want to do that. So what do I do with my Development of Civil Life? Probably raise population. I need my resource to finish the Roman roads. I think I want to do that. Like, finish it this turn. And then I can take something. Could go for bread and circuses. Not the greatest choices, to be honest. Bread and circuses without Pierre isn't the best. Alternatively, I could not finish the Roman roads this turn. But I think I do want to do that. And then maybe I take bread and circuses. And printing press, there is Shakespeare, but printing press is just not a good card, so I don't think I want to go for that. So I'll go with bread and circuses. Take the civil action again and get rid of Uncertain Borders. Can't really play that, and then hope we draw something better, or like a tactic, but not best tactic. But Open Borders Agreement is really nice. Gets us our 3rd military action. Red will open the Development of Agriculture. That's some extra food for everybody. And he goes for another agriculture himself, even though he has Singing Gardens too, so a lot of food for Tamiris here. Octavian will open the Development of Politics and finish. No, can't finish his Colosseum yet. Will take Warfare. And now Mushan will open the Development of Craft, some extra resource for us. And he will finish the Pyramids, play Joan of Arc and a Warrior. Another Warrior. Does he have a Legion? Nope. Okay, not sure what these are all about. We definitely want to play our Open Borders now. Strategic Territory could be okay because we have 2 colonization. But we are the weakest at the moment, so we don't want to do that anyway. Open Borders, on the other hand, is pretty great. Can probably offer that to Red, I would say. He doesn't look that scary. I mean, we don't want to offer that to Zhishka, who also has Warfare. Joan of Arc with Theology, please. I really don't want that. So I think Tamiris here would benefit greatly from that, and so would we. So that seems like a good idea. And also from the Development of Politics, we do some medieval armies, so we can look for the knights. Still 3 there. Probably not taking the knights for 3, but yeah, let's first see if Tamiris accepts our Open Borders. And of course he accepts, that's really good. Now we have an extra military action. Now we can definitely take another wonder, I think. Universitas or the Great Wall. We also have to be a little bit careful, because we have no idea what these cards could be, so maybe we have to take the strength from Saladin. That's probably not a bad idea. We could also well, we would like to go for iron. We could go for iron like with the rich land. Go up to 6 resource production, then we skip a wonder. Then there's only Silk Road left. We can also take the Universitas and build 2 steps. Maybe build 1 step and increase population. If there are rats in here, we don't lose as much food. So 2 irons left. There's another one in the deck. I mean, I would like to have the iron, but we already have 4 resource production from the Roman roads. So I think I like going for the Universitas more. We do need science. We also do have a lot of science stashed. Or we can actually do both. Build 1 step as well. So then we can finish that next turn. Yeah, I like that. Maybe we get the monarchy next turn. Maybe that's still there. Or the Code of Laws, but I guess that's unlikely. But monarchy would be great with our 8 science. And after that we get the Universitas extra production. So that's pretty good. So we skip on the iron for now. Not the biggest fan of that in 4 players. But the Universitas is also really, really strong. So I think that's worth it. And then we do take the strength, so we are not the weakest. I mean, we won't be the strongest for long, but yeah, overall I like that. And then probably get rid of these 2 and the territory. So keep 2 defend cards and the medieval army if we get the knights. I mean, we have a lot of science. We could go for the iron, but the problem is then we don't really have a lot of stuff we can spend that on. But I definitely don't hate going for the iron this turn, especially with the rich land in hand, and this is not a bad turn. I mean, you could again say that we increase population instead because of rats. And then maybe, yeah, we have enough for knights. Problem then is our science production. But there are 2 alchemies left. Yeah, it's a tough decision, but I think I like this more actually, because we need to get some strength going soon. We're up against Zizka and Joan of Arc with already 3 warriors. If he has like Legion, that's gonna be a lot. If he goes for Theology as well. Timurus already has Swordsman, so once he goes for the Legion, he'll have a lot. So we need to get a lot of strength soon, and then Knights would be great, and we need a lot of resources for that. So if we spend 9 resources on the Universitas, then we can't really defend, and I don't want to be the weakest in this position. Still taking the strength. Yeah, taking the strength doesn't feel that great, but yeah, this is a really tricky turn. We have to decide do we want to go with early resource production or early science production. But I think in such a military game that's not really here yet, but that's brewing and that's on the horizon with Zizka and Joan of Arc, I think I like resources more and not commit 9 resources to the Universitas. Hope that we get knights next turn, can then go for the medieval army. We also have no idea what's coming. If we had some idea, that would be really, really nice, but yeah, no card that we know what is coming. And then see what we can draw. Crusades, Call to Arms, so at least those 2 are not in the deck. And then more colonization cards. Maybe there are colonies that we can bid for. That would be nice use for those cards. And red goes for some alchemies. And another swordsman, but has no tactic. Still is the strongest for now. Green will play something, and the inhabited territory comes up. We have some good chance to win this, I think. We can definitely beat everything. Inhabited territory would be really, really amazing. We have a lot of resources, so yeah, that would be very, very good. And no one else has colonization force, so the chances aren't that bad. So let's see. And we win it for 4, that's really, really nice. That is good use of all of our colonization cards. And we don't need the warrior, of course. Still at 2 strength, that doesn't really mean much, but maybe we need the knights and then we can rebuild. But yeah, having a lot of free population now, that feels pretty good. And Octavian goes finishing that Colosseum. Goes for knights, so probably has another tactic, but not yet. Mushan, Theocracy and Joan of Arc, that's a combo, and Code of Laws as well. I really like that. And then it's our turn. And we are pretty weak. I have to definitely consider that we are pretty weak. So what do we want to do here? We could go for warfare to get some extra strength and military actions going, but we have to be able to defend against blue, goes up to 7. Can't go for knights or something with the medieval army. But we have a lot of free population, a lot of resources. I would love to grab Universitas. It doesn't seem like a good turn for that. Yeah, maybe the warfare. Then we had, yeah, then we could defend if we take the strength again from Saladin. Could also build a warrior too. Like this again, we can defend with 3 cards. We can also defend against Timurus, where we have the Open Borders Agreement. Could still go for the warfare. Or for the Universitas, and then increase this one. Then we can't finish the Universitas next turn. Yeah, interesting. We have to be a little bit careful here, but it's not that much. Defending against 7 is easily doable. The next turn maybe we can copy the Legion, go for another warrior. Maybe take the rich land and don't upgrade this turn, but build 1 step. And then we can finish the Universitas next turn, go with the rich land, upgrading another bronze to iron. That doesn't seem bad. Then we have great resource production and the science production. And we will be able to defend against blue. I mean, red could cancel the pact. That would be pretty mean. I don't really think there's any reason he would do that. That would only be good for blue and not for himself. So I don't really see him doing that. And of course we take the strength from Saladin again. These cards could be pretty bad because we will stay the weakest, but yeah, I mean, you could go for warfare, then there's a way around that. But I don't want to do that, I think. I think I'm going to go with the Universitas. Still pretty early for that. We don't have alchemy or anything. So getting some resource production, some science production out of our resources seems like a great idea. And then rich land as well is pretty nice. Still have great food production. Take the strength again. A little bit, I don't know, risky, but it doesn't feel the greatest, but I think it should be okay. And Tamiris will open the cultural influence here. He will build up his second alchemy and grab a rich land, so he can go for iron next turn. It's gonna be close with his hanging guns if he isn't careful. And there's an early new deposit, so we are really, really rich now, producing another 5 resources here. He will go for warfare, and the best tactic with the Zhishka going up to 14 strength. I'm in danger, I would say. Mushan will open good harvest, so at least we have a lot of resources and food. Go up to 12. 12 and 14, these guys are planning aggressions. I'm not a fan of that. There's knights at least. I think I'll have to go for them. Go for knights and the medieval army. Not a pretty turn, but I think I have to do that. If I don't do that, there will be aggressions, there will be consequences. This is really nice knights for me, going up to 12 strength. I can then take the civil action. I guess I can't take the civil action because I couldn't defend against Octavian here. So maybe I have to take the strength again because I won't be drawing cards. Yeah, that's a tricky decision I'll have to make. I really, really want that civil action. I think it would be pretty unlikely for Octavian to play an aggression on us, but he could definitely do that if he wants to. I will have corruption, but yeah, we just got a lot of free resources. We can still finish the universitas next turn, upgrade with a rich land. So yeah, this is a really nice knight's draw for us. And this way we are pretty safe. And so like that. And I think I want to be super safe. Go for the strength from Saladin. If Octavian would play an aggression on us, then all of this would have been for nothing. So yeah, taking the strength doesn't feel great because we are still the second weakest. But I think I'll have to take the strength here because I'm not drawing any new cards. Yeah, let's take the corruption. Let's hope there are no reds. If one of these cards is reds, I will be losing 8 food, and that would be devastating. But did we see reds? We didn't see reds ourselves. If that's it, I'm gonna start to cry, I think. Losing 8 food. That is a 3 population that we can easily get out. Then we have a great position. We can finish the universitas. If we want to, we can go for another army to become the strongest next turn. So overall, I like my position really much. With that knight's draw, that was really key. And then our resource production is looking great, and food as well, if there are no reds. If they are, it's gonna be rough. And the pact is rejected. Red offered that to blue, but blue doesn't want it. Timurus will go up to 10 strength. Okay, that's enough, so we're all pretty close. And Octavian can't, probably can't play an aggression, will play politics here. Barbarians. Of course, that hits Zizka, but he's not one of the 2 weakest, so pretty good for him. And then he goes for iron and breakthrough. So a lot of expensive technologies in hand and not the most science production. Now blue will open the Reign of Terror that hits Timurus. That's pretty good for us. That we are not hit by that. And then Mushan will be getting the swordsman, of course. He has Great Wall, so that is a good idea. And now we could think about playing something. We are not the weakest. We have no idea what's coming. I probably want to finish the universitas of this turn. Maybe increase population 2 times, because now it could definitely be reds. Still haven't seen them. So yeah, this feels good. No corruption. Alternatively, of course, I would like to upgrade the iron. But then we have corruption and too much food lying around, so I think just increasing population 2 times is pretty nice. Could build another knight to up to 14. So maybe we could take the strength again to be strongest. At least stronger than Mushan for now. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of commitment into the knights, but I don't have a problem with that. Most of these are from green, so being strong probably doesn't hurt. A couple from blue, he was also pretty strong. So yeah, I think I'll take the strength again from Saladin. Not the best use out of Saladin, the 2 strength, but it's okay. Doesn't feel super good not to take the civil action. But the strength seems more important for now. And let's see what we draw. Dark Ages and Legion, not really helping at all. Timurus will go for iron. Can upgrade 2 times. Grabs cultural heritage. Let's see if Octavian will play politics. He is the strongest for now. And Timurus will lose. Cleopatra here. Scientific breakthrough. 5 signs for us. Really nice. And Octavian goes for a revolution and builds up another knight. And Mushan will also play something, and it's the vast territory. I mean, we have 5 resources. If we win this, we could immediately rebuild, like we send the army. I think I would be willing to send that. Yeah, we have the next turn, so we're not in danger of becoming too weak. We can immediately rebuild a knight and a warrior. I think it's still pretty unlikely, but not sure. But for 5, I think that's worth it this early. Haven't solved food yet. I mean, we have inhabited territory, but yeah, I haven't gotten any more. So I think this should be a safe, safe colony to bid 5-4. And the Octavian will bid 6, but at least we made it pretty expensive. If we had gotten that for 4, if we hadn't bid, that would have been way better for him, but 6. I mean, he has already H2 colonization or H2 military cards, so maybe he has some colonization cards. But let's hope that he also has to send away an army. That would be pretty nice. If not, then he has such a strong position now that I'm really afraid of him. And he has to send away an army. That's pretty nice that we could make him pay so much. And Mushan will upgrade some of his warriors to swordsmen. 15, 16 and 17 strength now. He definitely wants to be strongest. And now it's our turn. I mean, we can definitely play something. We are the second strongest. So getting something nice in there should be okay. Maybe the knowledge of the ancients. We have 2 wonders already. Most of these guys don't. So I think we can play that. And we get the border conflict. Okay, so the resources for Mushan here. So I think I might want to go with Brent's circuses. I could go for a very late monarchy here. Yeah, maybe it's it's a tough decision for me. Because it really depends on when Conmon comes out. If an early Conmon, I could go for that. I could maybe go for Republic. But yeah, the science is just sitting around. So I think I want to spend some of that on that monarchy. Pretty late, but maybe okay. We can also upgrade the iron here. And then we can take the civil action from Saladin. Finally again, because yeah, we have enough military cards to defend against Mushan here, so we can get that extra civil action for ourselves. So this overall pretty okay turn. Go for that monarchy. It's a safe play. If we don't take that and the Conmons are super late and we don't get a new government form, and just sitting on all of our science is not great. We produce a lot, so yeah, we can still go for the blue technologies. So those would be pretty nice if we get them. Take the civil action here, see what we draw from H2, maybe a tactic. Early tactics always important, nope, but defend card, that's pretty nice to have. And red will go for Nostradamus. Builds up his iron production, that is not looking bad for him. Octavian will not play something, rebuilds Aurora, goes up to 14. So we are not the weakest actually. Nostradamus still is weaker because of the turn order, but Mushan also doesn't want to play something. That's interesting. He knows what's on top. It's up to 21, so it's nothing strength dependent, I guess. You know that. And what would he not like? Not so sure. Maybe did he spend science? Theology only, so probably not. It could be rats. Did he increase population? Yeah, increased population. So yeah, it's too risky for me that it's rats. So I'm gonna skip politics. We didn't see rats, right? No, rats could definitely be it. So we definitely want to increase population this turn. And then strategy would be great. Could go with Newton and scientific method for next turn. And then, I don't know, build another warrior to go up to 16. Fill in the tactic again. Yeah, I like that strategy. If we didn't have to take the strategy, it would look a lot nicer. We could upgrade our last iron, but I think this is pretty solid. Can go with Newton and scientific method. And there is Bill Gates, Sid Meier, Marie Curie, so those really work well with the scientific method. So I think this looks pretty nice. Then we can again take one civil action with Saladin, and next turn go for Newton, going for the scientific method, upgrading, and then we have a lot of science production. Maybe I'm overstepping into science, but nothing else to take here really. Could wait, go for Nobel or something, but Newton is pretty nice, especially with these civil actions where we don't have the most. And then there's still 3 selective breedings and ocean liner, so we can concern ourselves with food at a later point. And then get rid of some of these. National pride. Yeah, I can definitely get rid of that one. This one. Can maybe keep the aggression. Dark Age is also not good if we go for a lot of science. Draw 3 new ones. Maybe we can get a tactic. No tactic yet, but prosperity could be nice if we have these Britain circuses. We'll see. And Tamaris opens a rebellion and loses 2 civil actions himself for that. Guess he didn't see that one when it was played yet. We'll go for Cavalryman, going up to 13. Don't know, not the most efficient military that he has at the moment. Octavian will build another knight, has another tactic, 4 culture production from that. That is really, really great for him. And now Mushan is the strongest. Will he play something? Yes, he will. And Foray, and we're not part of that. That sucks a little bit, but still okay. Mushan will go for coal, can upgrade 2 times, and gets the cannons for his Great Wall. Mushan is looking great here, really, really great. One of the 2 weakest, we could play something. Could play the Prosperity. I guess we're gonna build another Brand Circus soon. Yeah, but let's for now let's not do that. I would like Newton and scientific method now. Definitely the cannons as well. Maybe elect Newton, go for scientific method. We can also go for architecture. That makes upgrading these pretty cheap. Upgrading both of them here. Going up to 11 culture science production. That's really, really great. And then we can afford the strategy and cannon soon. So maybe going for strategy next turn. And then with nationalism is pretty great. Some extra resources. Alternatively, we upgrade this. But I like that we have nationalism in our hand. Makes me feel pretty secure. So I like that. And then we are still... I mean, on next turn we're gonna be the weakest. So we could definitely play something. Don't know about the Cold War, but... I guess green will lose a lot of strength once he swaps Zhishka out. And we have the strategy. Yeah, let's play the Cold War. Hope it doesn't make our turn bad. And wealthy territory, okay. We would definitely like some resources, but I don't know how much I can commit to that. Can rebuild immediately, which is nice. We don't have the population though. I'm getting rid of some of these warriors, maybe. Or whole army, but we go down to 11. Then we can't really defend anymore. Then we would have to go for strategy this turn. We can't afford the scientific method. We had a pretty nice turn. Don't know about playing politics here. Looked pretty nice what we were able to do. I guess if we don't win the territory, then it doesn't matter. Don't know. Don't think I can send the whole army. We don't have a lot of population, so maybe just we would be able to send away 6. Let's do that and see how it goes. And Damaris wins it for 7+. Let's see. Okay, just a swordsman and a lot of cards. Pretty good for him. So let's see where we want to go this turn. I mean, probably just what we did last try, right? Go for Newton, grab the cannons, go for Newton, go for the scientific method. Yeah, we could also go for strategy or something, but yeah, let's go with this. Oh, we wanted to go with architecture as well, right? Yeah, this seems good. 11 science, and then the wave nationalism. Should be enough for a couple of cannons. Can go for strategy next turn. We are not the weakest anymore because of Tamaris getting that colony. Also, we don't have to be super afraid of anything. We get even more science from the knowledge of the ancients. Yeah, seems great. Seems like a good turn. Get that science going. Get these civil actions from Newton going. I like it. And let's hope that we draw a good tactic. Mobile artillery maybe. Fortifications. That's a hard transition. We have 6 units that don't work for this at all. So yeah, that's gonna be tough. Demerus will go for selective breeding and a little bit more strength. Octavian will play something and reveal the pestilence. So that could be a problem for us. We'll build up even more knights. Goes up to 19. Really using Zhishka quite nicely. And then Mushan. Oh, Mushan is looking good. Knowledge of the Ancients, 3 extra science. Oh, he grabs selective breeding for 3. That's the last one, right? I mean, yeah, that's really good for Mushan. And now our turn, and we are the weakest, so we don't want to play something. Promise of military protection, probably not. And we have to delete something. We could delete a warrior. Try to transition into cannons with the fortification, but that's a really hard transition. 6 units or 5 units now that we can't use for the fortifications, so not so sure about that one. Could destroy our mine. Also doesn't feel great, but next turn we can increase population again, then go for the strategy, going up to 19, and maybe the cannon. I mean, we don't have to play that yet, we can also wait. Definitely grab all of these, those seem pretty nice. But what do we do with our resources? I mean, we could delete a warrior, go for the cannons, go for the strategy, and with nationalism, destroy these warriors and build a cannon. Maybe another one. Play the tactic, go up to 21. Is pretty nice, being the strongest, especially for Cold War and whatever this is. Destroying all of those warriors doesn't feel that great. It's not really efficient transitioning. Destroying your units. Fortification is pretty nice. Those knights are also not doing anything for military at the moment. So this is not really pretty. Also, we won't be getting more food because, yeah, all selective readings are gone, so we are still looking for the ocean liner service. And then grab all of these. Then we can't use our last civil action. But I like the reserves on frugality, could mean 2 more population with frugality and reserves for food. Yeah, next turn we could increase population. Yeah, that doesn't seem bad. So this is definitely something we can do. We're still not producing any culture. We're really far behind in that. Yeah, Mushan is looking really good. Great resource production, food production, science is okay. I mean, we have 11 science production. That is something. And if we get early Bill Gates, for example, then it definitely is looking quite nice. Yeah, 11 science production is a lot. I like that. So becoming strongest for now is also pretty nice. We have a lot of military action, so maybe we can push some wars or something. And then, yeah, we're not going to use our warriors anyway. They are riflemen, so we could upgrade them eventually, but yeah, this doesn't feel pretty, but we can think a little bit about this turn again, what we want to do, but you're having to sacrifice something. I think the only choice really is the warrior. We could think about not rebuilding or not going for the cannons yet. But upgrading this, staying at 16, so we are the weakest, not great for whatever this is. Definitely want the strategy. And then just wait a little bit with upgrading our military again. So maybe we can go for the riflemen. So this was played by blue or green. They are pretty strong. So that could definitely be something really bad for the weakest player, like Uncertain Borders. There are not a lot of cards left. Reds, Raiders, Uncertain Borders, or Territory. Probably not a Territory. Could be Reds. Could be the Uncertain Borders. Could be Raiders. Raiders would be not too bad. I don't know if I like the cannon transition. That is a lot of investment, destroying all of our warriors. But we can maybe use with the riflemen, depending on what tactics we draw, but we can still draw quite a lot of cards. Can go for the cannon now. It doesn't cost us a civil action, so yeah, we could use the Wave of Nationalism. Or can we actually... this is hard to know. I think I just need a little bit of time for this. If we play the Wave of Nationalism, we get 6 if we go for the cannons. I think I did that wrong last time. Yeah, the first time I tried. If you guys caught that, pretty nice by you. But this means we get 2 more extra resources from the Wave of Nationalism. I think I played that after going for strategy, so we go for strategy now. Then we can take all of these, and then we can still use our last civil action. That is pretty nice, upgrading this. This makes this a lot better, having that extra resources, being able to upgrade the iron. Oh, and then play the tactic, of course. So we had 21. Yeah, let's go with this. Would really depend on what tactic we draw. These guys, red does have swordsmen, green does not, and Mushan does have them. So it would be pretty likely that we get the rifleman, but we also need a tactic for that. So yeah, if red reveals a classic army, but he only has like 2 cards. Fortifications revealing that now is also really hard for these guys to transition. They have the same problem as me, that they can't easily go for a lot of cannons. They would have to destroy everything. Maybe we get the mobile artillery, that would be a lot better, but we're not drawing a lot of cards, but we still have time. So yeah, I think I'm going with this for now. Not 100% sure. This is a hard turn really just to decide what I want to go for. But I will go with this. Hope that we get Ocean Liner Service soon. Yeah, that's basically the plan. Only drawing 1 card, that's not so great. Another aggression, can't really use them. There's the first rifleman. We would love the justice system. Anything that we can spend our science on that gives us something immediately. Navigation, justice system would be great. Maybe we can also... and not a lot else left. Maybe save up a little bit of science. And there's neither Steve Jobs nor Einstein, so we can't save up a lot of science and then use that with them. So a justice system would be perfect for us. And the strategic territory comes down. That could be a great way for us to get rid of the knights and get cannons instead. I mean, losing the population could be a little bit bad, but here we have the frugality and reserves and everything, so we can definitely send away 1, that is without a doubt. And we could send away another. I mean, we go down to 19 because we get 2 strength back, so we are still one of the strongest. And that could be important for the Cold War, but yeah, 19 is a nice number. Don't know if the strategic territory is worth that much that we send away both knights or 2 knights. So it would, for 6, like for 1 knight, that would be pretty nice. Get rid of the knight, get some nice strength, maybe a tactic, who knows what we would draw from that. And I might be able to justify another knight, because we don't really need them for the fortifications. And we might have to delete them at some point anyway, if we can't use the knights, so... yeah, come, let's go with the 8. I mean, if we draw the mobile artillery, then for example with that card draw, then we need to rebuild the knights and everything. But I think I want that territory. I mean, 6 would be perfect. We could also only bid 6, but yeah, 8 would be okay as well. So let's see who wins. And Timurus wins it for 8+. Let's hope he has to pay a lot for that. And he does. Cavalryman and a swordsman. That is pretty expensive for a strategic territory. One only, so yeah. That's pretty good at least. He goes for Republic this turn. A cannon. Seems like he has a good transition. Oh yeah. Defensive army. Goes up to 18. And Octavian will play something as well. The popularization of science is really great for us. 11 culture from that. The other guys don't get nearly as much. Journalism for Zizka here. Doesn't really have a transition yet, but yeah, those riflemen are pretty nice for him. And then Mushan still looking good. Emigration doesn't hit anybody. That's interesting. He will go for cannons. Yeah, he can copy the defensive army soon. On next turn, he's looking strong here. So we'll have to be a little bit careful. He is the strongest now. We could play this prosperity. We have the Grand Circus might build another one. We are one of the 2 strongest, so we will win this Cold War. That is pretty nice, so I definitely want to play something. And prosperity is the only thing that we can play, so I like that. So getting extra science, and we can take the justice system this turn. That is really great. Food is still a problem, so we probably, yeah, very late Ocean Island. Maybe we don't even go for that, but hope for an early mechanized agriculture or something. So probably don't take the Kremlin here. Frugality, we get 1 population out. Good with reserves, get another one out. Age will be over soon, so we need 1 Burn Circus anyway. We might build that. Could also build another lab. Like just a lab and a Burn Circus. And if we get an early Bill Gates, I think this game is looking super good. This might be a little bit of an overkill going for 14 science production, but it can also be really, really good. Don't really know what else I would be building. What we need is food the most, and we can't upgrade that at the moment. We have 8 resources next turn. I mean, there could be a war by blue, but he doesn't have the military actions for that. He has to copy the defensive army, and then he only has 1 military action left, so he can't declare the war and copy the tactics. So I don't think we have to worry about a war next turn. Maybe we still have a little bit more time to worry about that. I mean, we could also increase our resource production, go for another iron instead of the scientific method. Yeah, that might really depend on if we get Bill Gates and when we get him. So not building the lab, but building this one, maybe with urban growth and another iron. So we go up to 8 resource production. And we still have really nice science and better resources. That might be more important for us because we have so many blue technologies already. So I don't know what everything would be that we go for in the end. I mean, yeah, air forces, maybe a new government form. So those are things we could go for with our science, but yeah, even like this we still have 11 science production. So there still is a lot. So I don't hate going for another lab, another mine here. So we can also have 10 resources next turn. So we could build 2 cannons. Don't think that will happen, but who knows. Still would be amazing if we draw the mobile artillery. But yeah, I think maybe I like this more. We don't want to go too much into science. We need some more resource. We can, like this, we can maybe go for early oil or something. That would be amazing. Bill Gates, of course, would be super amazing. Then this would be a bad move. But yeah, we can't count on Bill Gates to save our resource production. I mean, our resource production doesn't really need saving. We have 6. That's the same as everybody else. And it's a pretty late iron that we maybe don't have the population for, but yeah, resource is what we need the most besides food and culture, but I don't see, yeah, I can't go for culture production this turn, so going for the resource, then we can maybe go for an opera with the architecture. That's pretty cheap, so maybe going for a couple of operas. and then the resource will really come in handy. We will need more population for that, but yeah, we could destroy a knight or something. We don't know how long we will have this iron. We could also just keep it for a couple of turns, make itself pay for it, and then at a later point delete it. I guess it really depends on when we get our food production up. So I think overall I like this. We are still the second strongest, which I like. But I don't want to overcommit into the scientific method. Then we would have so much science with that we can't get rid of it. There's also no Einstein and no Steve Jobs, so we can't save up a lot of science for them. So I think this is what I'll go for here. And we will draw no tactic. If this one of these cards was the mobile artillery, that would have been amazing. Damaris will open the politics of strength. That's really good for Mushan and pretty bad for Octavian. Let's see. Looks like Damaris will lose Nostradamus at the end of the age. But there are worse leaders to lose at the end. Octavian will open the international agreement and more civil action for Mushan. Him being strongest working pretty nicely for him. Octavian will lose Zizka, but he finds the perfect transition with that conquistadors. It's up to 25, and now he loses Zizka, but doesn't concern him that much. Mushan will use the international agreement, take revolutionary ID for 3, urban growth, efficient upgrades. To be honest, Mushan looks so strong. I'm thinking about maybe just playing for second place and not against Mushan. He has great resource production. Not that great yet, but with what he can upgrade that. He has a nice military setup. He has nice food. Science is looking especially good with the revolutionary ideas. Could play the autonomous territory, but I'm not sure when to play that. Could even go for that with the Suez Canal. But we have to solve food now. We could go with this mechanized agriculture that just came out. Upgrade once. Sadly just really expensive. But that could be good for a lot of impacts. And we get population out next turn. Alternatively, I mean with this we could then also take... I mean, reserves are pretty nice. Opera could also be very nice. And then maybe the riflemen, so we have more options for different tactics. No, maybe we don't need them. Not so sure. We could alternatively go with Ocean Liner. We can finish that this turn with the architecture. Then we get out of free population this turn. So we would have a lot of population from this because we get it out a little bit earlier, but that makes taking a one night a little bit harder. Takes all of our resources. We can't take the opera. I think now might be a good time to go for the opera. We have nice resource protection. We can, with the architecture, build these operas pretty cheaply. So I think I'll go with the mechanized agriculture. That's a lot better for a lot of impacts and easier to take other wonders as well. And then yeah, I want that opera. Can't take the reserves sadly, those would be pretty nice. But then the riflemen as well, they might come in handy. Going on to, I mean, we probably don't have to be afraid of Mushan at this point. We have a lot of defend cards. I think we actually have enough to defend, right? That's 8, 12, and then we can use 2 more, that's 14. So we are exactly at 36, so we can defend. Think about the promise of military protection first, but I don't want to have less culture protection at this point because it's really close. The strength could be pretty nice, but I don't know who would accept that. Maybe Mushan. But that will cost us like 10 culture in the end for 4 strength. I don't think I want to do that at this point. And then we have to get rid of it. And we can defend. If without that we couldn't defend, and with we can defend, maybe I would offer that, but I think like this, we're probably gonna skip that. And then the infiltrates. Yeah, keep that war for now. That war seems more likely than the infiltrates. such a very close military. And we draw a tactic immediately, mechanized army, that will be great if we get the tanks. That is a very nice transition then. Can go for 2 tanks, 2 more cannons, and we have the population for that now, and then we have nice military. No war over culture, but yeah, eventually we could go for that, so yeah, we'll see. And rejected pact between Timirus and Octavian. That's interesting, why you wouldn't accept that. Timirus will go for Nobel and arenas, going up to 22 strength, 25, so we are the weakest. So let's see if Octavian will play something. He will, and Crime Wave hits us, but I mean Crime Wave is 3 culture, it's not the worst. Could have been a lot worse as weakest player. We'll go for 1 religion, upgrade, very late iron upgrade here. Oh, will Mushan take the oil? He doesn't have oil yet, but... Oh, it does an aggression on Timirus, luckily not on us. He takes democracy and the oil. We'll go up to 10 resource production. Yeah, that's looking good for Mushan. I think we're playing for 2nd place at this point. And pretty important for that is not being a target of an aggression. And Manhattan Project is looking pretty nice, I think. I definitely want that. We could try to not be the weakest. We could increase population, build another cannon. And maybe grab reserves here. Don't really think Sid Meier is good at this point. I mean, we need culture eventually, but it's a little bit early for Sid Meier. Also, we need this. I guess we don't really need the science. We could go for Sid Meier. I guess we could also go for the democracy this turn. Yeah, I think I like the democracy this turn. Gives us the much needed culture production, and then maybe Manhattan Project as well. And Dome of the Arts would also be pretty strong. Would probably be yeah, 6 culture for us, because we have the least at the moment. And being able to go for Manhattan Project next turn. We could also go with Sid Meier. And like go for another of these scientific methods. So then next turn we have 14 resources, so we could build the Manhattan Project. Then the question is, we are the weakest. One of these cards is Prosperity, that's not bad. But as the weakest, can we defend against Mushan? We have 4 defend cards, so that's 12, 13, 14. So we can defend, if I counted that correctly. Yes, 8, 12 from the defend cards, 2 more, that's 14 strength, and 14 plus 22 is 36. So we can defend. We start our culture production heavily, 12. We can finish the Manhattan Project next turn. I mean, Temur is in no position to declare war. He will really like to get the military theory, but I can't really justify taking that away. And then Octavian could declare war. He has conquistadors, has a couple of resources in the bank. So he could declare war and build up a little bit something besides that. But I mean, we have, with that Manhattan Project, 13 strength that we can just get next turn, and being able to defend. If Mushan plays like an aggression plunder or something, we can defend. So let's maybe start our culture production this turn. We could think about developing something before we get rid of Newton. Could also think about not playing Sid Meier yet. So produce extra science, and with the Manhattan Project, score extra culture from that. So maybe still build that so we can finish that next turn. Have that extra science from Newton and the extra civil actions for next turn. We'll miss out a little bit on culture, but not so much on the science. And I think with the Manhattan Project, that will be worth it. Because Sid Meier means we lose science production, so we only want to elect him after the Manhattan Project, and we're gonna finish that next turn and then play Sid Meier. I think that's a good plan. So I think I like that. Also with the extra civil action, seems like a good idea. And I want to keep this mechanized army, I think. Don't really need those aggressions at the moment. Can get rid of the war or the territory. Yeah, keeping one war. I mean, I could also keep this aggression instead. The plunder. Maybe we can sneak that in against Tamiris, even though he will probably get the military theory, but yeah, who knows. Probably won't be going for the war. And then this looks pretty solid. Hope I'm not missing anything, but yeah, 14 resources is enough to finish the Manhattan project, because that's very cheap. So I really like that. So sounds like a good idea. And then see what we draw. Input of culture, that could be great now that we have Sid Meier, so I like that draw. And there was a pact. Tamiris offered us the peace treaty, and I accepted. And Octavian will open inhabited territory. So yeah, just so you guys know, I didn't record. Just accepting that peace treaty with Tamiris seemed like a good idea, getting extra culture, and I'm not really in a position to go for a war, I think. Especially now that he has the military theory and a lot of resources, all of that stuff in his hand. So now let's think about this inhabited territory. I would probably like to have that, but I don't need it so much, because I now have that mechanized agriculture. I mean, I would probably like to get rid of these knights. I could maybe use some for the tanks that are coming down. That could be nice. But we can't defend against Mushan if we bid too much. That is one big downside. Like if we bid a couple of knights, we could bid 8 easily. I guess Octavian has a really good position anyway. With his 3 colonization, he really needs population. Maybe he has a couple of cards and it's his turn, so I think it's very likely that he will win. So maybe we just pass, because I think an aggression would be too much from Mushan here. If he plays an aggression on us, steals the science or the resources, destroys our scientific methods, then we have to rebuild them, can't go for the Manhattan project. And as I said, we don't really need the colony. I mean, yes, inhabited territory would be nice, get a lot more population out, but we get 1 population each turn anyway. We still have those knights that we can maybe destroy and build into something more profitable. So I think I'll just pass on this one, because it's too risky, and yeah, an aggression would be really bad. And Octavian wins it for 6+. Yeah, Tamiris also, same idea, doesn't want an aggression from blue. So Octavian wins to that one, which is pretty nice for him. And the colony is won by Octavian for the riflemen at least, so he can't use the knights. That's something at least. And early Marie Curie doesn't really work for him, but I guess next turn he gets computers, then it works a little bit. Mushan will not play an aggression or anything, opens prosperity. And will he take a wonder? Probably, right? Spaceflight maybe. Has enough resources for that. Yeah, goes with spaceflight. And now it's our turn. Could play something, definitely. I mean, input of culture, we can definitely play that, I think, with Sid Meier. We should be able to win that. We are the weakest, but putting that in is pretty nice. Could, of course, get punished by... Okay, politics of strength out. Refugees would punish us. International negotiations would punish us. Terrorism, iconoclasm. Iconoclasm would be kind of bad. There's Ball Gates. I mean, iconoclasm wouldn't be too bad. We could play Sid Meier immediately. Let's play the Emperor of Culture here. Freedom of movement. Okay. I mean, we can use a knight. Put the knight on. I mean, if we want to finish the Manhattan project this turn, we can't spend any resources for the knight. But if we put them on a cannon, I mean, we can also go for computers this turn. Computers and another cannon. Puts up to 31, so strength no longer is a really big issue. And then we could take the revolutionary idea. I mean, yeah, again, we don't go for Sid Meier. Would give us a lot of culture production. But I mean, this is going to be 6 more from the Manhattan project. Maybe next turn we can upgrade once more. We have the engineering genius. I feel like I should play Sid Meier soon. The longer that we don't play him, it gets worse and worse. But yeah, the extra civil actions from Newton and then the extra science and everything. I mean, it might cost us 6 science production and gives us 7 culture production, which is a good trade. But if we consider that we still have to finish the Manhattan project, I think Newton is still better. With engineering genius and our resources, we have 12 plus 5. That's enough to finish the Manhattan project. That's 17. I think we even can upgrade once. Yeah, right. Next turn we can upgrade another scientific method to computers and then finish the Manhattan project for quite a lot of culture, and then we can elect Sid Meier. So I think waiting with Sid Meier a little bit longer should still be better, especially with those civil actions that Newton still gives us. And I think I'm also going to take the tanks. That's a really nice setup for strength. We can even go for war still, if we want to. So yeah, with the Manhattan project, with mechanized army. Sorry. And we could even play that this turn. So we have, with the War of Culture, we can play that next turn, upgrade with the tanks 2 times. I guess we don't have the resources to also go for the Manhattan project, so we could think about that instead. Could think about going for a war against, I don't know, we have that peace treaty with Tamiris, so we could go against Octavian. Maybe we shouldn't have gone for the peace treaty, I don't know. Could go for a war against Mushan, but that seems unlikely with the Great Wall and 20 resources in hand, but only 3 military actions. I mean, we're gonna get a lot from the Manhattan project and then from the tanks with the mechanized army. That's also pretty strong. We can also do the rest like this and go for war in 2 turns, something like that. Should still have the time for that. Theoretically, we could go with oil this turn, but probably don't want to do that anymore. So do we play this? Probably not. Can't really go for war next turn. We have 3 resources left. That's enough to upgrade. No, we can't even upgrade 1 knight to the tank. Could not go for the computers. Like, don't grab the computers, go with another of these, the tanks, and then we can upgrade next turn, but we can't also finish the main project. I mean, if we take engineering genius, let's do the other thing looked promising. We can still go for those wars if we want to, but for now I want to go with the computer. We need that engineering genius. Could increase population, or we can upgrade another computers. Like, do we need the strength? I mean, I'm still the weakest, so I think it's a good idea to increase population and build another cannon. Puts us in 2nd position, grab a tank, and then go with Sid Meier next turn. Hopefully finish the main project and elect Sid Meier. Doesn't feel super great to delay Sid Meier even more, but it's, as we said before, it is more culture, more science, more civil actions if we keep Newton for a while with that Manhattan project. So yeah, let's go with this and then really plan to go for Sid Meier next turn. I know I said that last turn, but with computers I think it's worth it to delay the Manhattan project a little bit. We can't go for the Manhattan state, and then internet is still not here, so yeah, we could eventually maybe go for that, but I think this is probably gonna be our only wonder, so we want to make it a big wonder. So that is my plan. Yeah, as we said, I mean, I could think about playing this anyway. These guys are not really. Mushan is in no position to go for that. Tamiris could. So if we want to, but we can't go for war against Tamiris anyway, and Octavian is in no position to play that. So this is the same strength for us, but makes it more easy to go for the tanks and then upgrade that. So we save 1 military action in future turns. There could still be a colony. Aggression could be nice. Have to discard one. Yeah, let's discard one of these colonization cards. See if we draw a nice impact. We already have a war, so hopefully not another one. War and input of agriculture. That could be nice if we upgrade the last one, and it's nice to have that anyway. A pact, a military alliance between Timurus and Mushan. Pretty nice for them. Would have loved to be a part of that. And you can copy a tactic, play the tactic, take air forces. Ooh, Timurus he's looking dangerous. Very much so. Octavian will also go on a pact with Timurus, international tourism. But yeah, I'm starting to be afraid of Timurus here. Professional sports from Octavian here, and then Mushan will play something and open strategic territory. I mean, I think we can send away a knight. We get 4 strength back, and we only lose 3. Oh, yeah. And we can easily rebuild. And with that main project, we should be safe for now. It's also our turn next. So we can still, with this, go with the original plan, finish the main project. Then we still have enough strength because we get 4 back. We had 28 plus 14 from the main project. So I think we can bid high for this. Like all 9. Probably not more. I mean, we could also send away cannon, but that makes it a lot more awkward. Because we need 2 tanks to fulfill the tactic completely. So just sending away a knight just can rebuild. Save some military actions and such. So I think, yeah, the knight will have to do. We also have some... We don't need the territory as much. We have 2 good impacts for us, I think. Agriculture and variety. And then we already have the wars. So if we don't get it for 9, yeah, then that's okay. So we win. So we can just use the warrior. We can't keep a card. I think I still want to do that. I mean, yeah, next turn I will get a lot of strength from the main project, so I don't think I want to send the cannon instead or something like that. Yeah, going with this. In the end, I maybe should have kept with the fortifications. I mean, theoretically we can go for mobile artillery and then I wouldn't need the tanks. So I could think about sending the cannon, but yeah, I think tanks is still the best idea. So let's send those cards. Draw 1 back, strength and science. So that is pretty nice. The input of science. I can play that next turn. Even though we are the weakest, probably still want to play that. An impact of culture and science, and we should be able to win both of them with Sid Meier, I think. Yeah, these guys don't have a lot of science production at all. So yeah, I think that's looking pretty solid. And Mushan goes for multimedia, flaming, 15 culture production, has that wonder, military theory and satellites. Yeah, I think we can stop worrying about Mushan a little bit. He will very, very likely come in first. So maybe that's not our goal anymore. I mean, with the input of science, maybe we can do something. I definitely want to play that this turn, I think. I mean, we are the weakest, but we have a lot of great impacts, so we want to start playing them as soon as possible. And then see what we get. Arms industry, 2 more resources, okay. That is not that much, but it can help. I mean, we could think about war still for next turn, then we shouldn't end the age, but that is pretty risky, counting on that. So I definitely want to finish the main project. Sadly, can't really use the architecture for that. I mean, I could finish it like this, and then keep the engineering genius for state building. But for only 9 at the moment, we will win science and culture production, maybe at some point. Once we elect Sid Meier, we go up to 13. So yeah, probably still Yeah, also that's too expensive. I don't think we can really go for that. So I want to use the engineering genius on the Manhattan project, so we don't save any civil actions. So 16 culture. I mean, before we do that, we can maybe upgrade this once, and we can still finish it. So we got 18 strength, 18 culture and 13 strength. That's pretty nice, right? And then we can think about spending a little bit of our science with Newton, because we don't have to spend these civil actions. But we don't get the culture yet from the Nobel Prize, so we definitely want to have enough science and next turn to go for that. I mean, we could go with the civil service. We have the justice system already, but with as much science as we have, this actually doesn't cost us that much. And I guess we want to place Admire this turn then. We have to 14 culture reduction. Yeah, definitely want to do that. So we could think about playing tanks as well with Newton. The next turn we still have enough for 2 technologies for 1 Nobel Prize. So yeah, that's a consideration we can think about. Actually, we might copy this tactic now. Go back to the fortifications, so we are at 46 strength. I mean, if we want to go for wars, then this is a pretty bad move, because, well, we can go for the tanks next turn. I mean, with patriotism, we can declare war, go for 2 tanks. Like upgrade 1, go for the second tank. There's also air forces that we could maybe go for. But we don't really have. I mean, with military build-up, maybe. But then 4 cards taken, 6 cards left. Pretty unlikely that we'll have another turn. Especially because we have such a great culture production that I don't really believe these guys will give us another turn. Thing is, as I said, I don't really think I can overtake Mushan. He also gets the space flight and everything. He has pretty good impacts. So maybe, yeah, just being safe, taking patriotism and military build-up is actually the best move. Because, yeah, we're gonna overtake Red, no problem, with 14 culture production. Octavian can't take Wonder, has a low culture production anyway. I think this definitely secures our second place with the amount of culture and science especially. So this definitely secures second place, and maybe we get another turn, which would be great, but we don't really need it. So I think this is the safest play, taking those 2 cards. Going with the tanks. I mean, we might not have enough technologies to go for next turn. If we look at what is left in engineering, modern infantry. But probably, I mean, we will probably lose the Opera and Rifleman. But maybe that's okay. I'm thinking about the Nobel Prize, of course. That will be probably coming out next turn, which we can maybe go for. It's also not too important, but like we could not play the tanks. Keep that card in hand for making an easier Nobel Prize. But we save 1 civil action when we do that with Newton. Sorry, so the question is, do we need that civil action next turn? And the answer is, I don't know. But yeah, maybe with Nobel Prize it's actually good to keep that. Really not sure about that one. I mean, yeah, we can still go for 2 more technologies next turn. Yeah, let's keep that, I think. That might be the difference between getting 4 culture or not. I mean, we have a lot of civil actions. Yeah, we have the civil actions for that, I think. I think I don't want to play that yet. We could do that without spending the civil action, but it makes up as a way easier to go for a Nobel Prize next turn, which I like. Yeah, let's go with this, I think. Maybe we will regret that, but I don't think so. We could theoretically go for air forces and tanks next turn with the military build-up and patriotism. Like, declare the war, upgrade a warrior, upgrade knight to tank, build another tank, build one air force with the patriotism. We have enough military actions for that, so that could be a war. And then let's think about this. If we want to go for the war, we probably have to grab air forces for 3. and then develop it for 1, develop tanks, increase population 4 times and build stuff. Yeah, still have enough, we will have enough civil actions for that. And it gives us the Nobel Prize. I think this is the right move. I could copy this, but yeah, if we want to go for the war, we have to keep this tactic for now. The mechanized armies, so yeah, keeping that for now. We can go for that with the tanks. And there's no way that there can be an aggression or anything. And we have the Input of Strength in our hands, so that won't be coming out anything. So I think that's perfectly fine. Definitely don't need 2 wars. Don't really see ourselves going for all of these aggressions either. Variety is looking okay. Agriculture, yeah, we're definitely going to go for agriculture, I guess. Even though variety, if we go for an air force, could be better. And then strength could be pretty nice as well. Don't know, which one do we discard? Maybe one of the colonization cards? I mean, we don't need all of the impacts. Maybe variety is not the way to go. The defend card, it's a lot safer. We will go for strength or agriculture, I guess. And variety is relatively it's not really the best one, and agriculture will be safe anyway. So let's go with that. See what we draw, maybe some new nice impacts. Happiness and progress. Okay, progress is nice, and balance is not that good against Mushan, but against the other guys. I guess we could still, like if we win a war against Mushan, it's still possible to overtake him. And it's relatively close, we have 2 good impacts. I mean, Input of Culture is not that great yet. Maybe next time we just build computers instead, then we win the Input of Culture. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, and a successful aggression from Tamiris against Octavian. But yeah, Tamiris is really low, so that helps him a little bit, I guess. Goes for Churchill, goes with the movies, can build 1, yeah, and can finish as a wonder next turn. So I guess it could get pretty close between green and red now because of that aggression. Taman will end up at 69 for now. Nice. And then Mushan can finish his spaceflight, right? Yeah, that will be 29 culture for him. Goes for 1. Team sports, efficient upgrade, yes, ends at 135. So yeah, almost double of what we have, so really don't think we have a chance against him. But we also don't really have to worry about any of these other guys, I think, with our production and Input of Culture and Science in there. We definitely want to play 1 more impact. Can't go for the war anymore. Settle the Age of Wars ended by Octavian. I mean, could we even go for 1 war? Depends a little bit on... Maybe we could have gone for 1 against Octavian, but probably not Mushan with 11 resources anyway. But can't do that now, regardless. And I think Input of Progress, that really secures our place against Tamiris and Octavian, and it's also good against Mushan, especially because we're probably going to go for the engineering as well. Don't need any other technologies and really want 1 more for the Nobel Prize. So let's go with the Input of Progress. Okay, the developed territory. That does not really change anything, I think. And I really don't... Yeah, that probably... If we bid this... no, we don't need it. Can just pass on this one. And nobody wants the territory. Nobody bids a single point. So, that won't be colonized. And for our turn, can increase population 2 times. As I said, we probably want to go for this engineering. Because with that we can... I guess we need a happy face. So maybe bread and circus. And then we can build another computer. So we go up to 16 science and 17 culture. So we definitely win both of those impacts. Yeah, that's looking really good. And then there's the Nobel Prize to be had, so we can go for tanks. And with the military build up, we can actually upgrade a tank, go up to 50 strength, so it becomes stronger than Mushan and everything. And then with the last action, we can't really do anything. Can play patriotism. I guess we can destroy a cannon. Build. Not quite enough for the tank. Don't know if we can manage to do something here. I don't think so. Like, we could go for military build-up after we destroy the cannon, but then we still don't get more. So I don't think we can go for two. Yeah, we can't go for two tanks. I mean, we could go and go with the swordsman instead. I think that might actually be better for the variety. We don't know if variety's in... Oh, variety already was. So, yeah, that won't matter. We can maybe optimize for some impacts. Like harmony. For harmony, I guess for harmony we need the guy in the military. Okay, there we can destroy agriculture actually. Yeah, we have balance and agriculture in our own hands, so those won't be played, so this food production doesn't give us anything. And then we can go for one warrior. Strength might be important for input of strength, who knows. And then for the harmony, where we have 5. Okay, that also doesn't matter, so I guess it's better for strength. Not better for competition. Progress doesn't matter. Population doesn't matter. Government, architecture, science, technology, harmony, culture. Yeah, this agriculture doesn't give us anything for any impacts because we have balance and agriculture in our own hand. And then for harmony, I guess for harmony we would need to destroy something else, like bread and circus. But that's good for happiness and such. So yeah, let's go with the warrior, I guess. Might do something for strength. I guess for strength. Yeah, this seems like the best thing. Doesn't really matter, so I don't really drag that out. But if we could get efficient in one more impact, that would definitely be nice. But yeah, looks like this is the best we can do. And then we get the Nobel Prize, get 17 more culture, and quite a lot of good impacts in the deck. Probably won't be enough against Mushan, to be honest. I mean, 97 against 135. I mean, these impacts we both win. That's 30 culture, but the problem is Mushan is also good in both of them. I mean, if Octavian upgrades science production, then maybe Mushan doesn't come third in the science. But overall, I don't think so. I don't really think there's a chance that we overtake him. Just a little bit too much with that wonder in the end, and not enough time for us to really catch up. But still, we saw that early and didn't try to go against Mushan. With that oil, there was no chance for wars. I guess maybe, but with the military theory, probably not. So yeah, all said and done, we probably will come in second place. But maybe there's an upset, I don't know. If these guys play good impacts for us, we might come in first. Who knows? We're gonna see. And there was a colony, the vast territory that Octavian opened. I didn't bid for it again. No reason to. And then Octavian goes for something here. Upgrades a little bit. Doesn't become strongest or anything. Prepares a little bit for the input of competition. But let's see. Government. Slightly better for us. Then there is Harmony, 16 to 20. We're getting closer to Mushan. We're definitely getting closer. And Octavian also is not too far behind. But we know 2 impacts, Science and Culture. There's competition. That's not good enough. Octavian 12 and 14. And there's Science 15 for us and only 5 for Mushan. That's pretty good. And then input of culture, which is also pretty good for us. So we come relatively close. And then progress. Yeah, those impacts definitely helped. In the end, it got closer than I first thought. But yeah, congrats to Mushan for winning that. I think he had a really great position with that early oil. And then, yeah, if we had one more turn or something, if Octavian hadn't finished that, maybe we could have done something, like gone for a war or something. We had not a bad position for that. But yeah, was not to be. And it got pretty close in the end, so I'm actually impressed that we almost got him. In the end, not quite, but I think we have to be happy with second place. Can't win them all. And against Mushan here, felt like this was a game we were not gonna win. I don't know, maybe there was a big blunder, let me know. Or I know you guys will let me know if I made a mistake and we maybe could have caught him. But probably would have had something to do with the war. And I couldn't have snuck that in, and all of the computers. In the end, I'm pretty happy with how I played and how this turned out to be. So that, of course, means a lot of points for us, even more for Mushan. So we're gonna have a look at the standings of what this means for the tournament. And with that game finished, Mushan being first place, that of course means we get some culture. Let's take a look at the standings now. We're in 4th position now. 4th games finished, like most people. Still really close. Mushan now at 14 points, but he already has 5 games completed. So I don't think he actually has the best position even. But super close. 14, 13, 13 and 11. And then a little bit lower there's Octavian, G and Kimmo. But those guys still have a chance. 4 games completed now, so 3 more to come, so it's getting kinda crowded up here and still super close, so I don't really know how it will end. And yeah, a couple more games to go. The goal probably is still win as much as possible. And if we have games against Tamiris, Ranch or Mushan, those games become especially important to be in front of these guys. And then if there's a decision, like become second place, like Octavian win, and then one of the other guys comes in 3rd or 4th, that can be quite good. But yeah, in 4th position, we still can't really play around that too much. We still have to get more points than these 3 guys. So main goal is still to get as many points as possible and not deny these guys any. I can't really play around that yet. So that said, I hope you really enjoyed this game. I had a lot of fun. That was really interesting. Not super close like last time or the one before, but still an awesome game. I hope you enjoyed it a lot. If you did, leave me a like, leave me a comment, tell me if I did anything wrong or not, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope that I see you guys for the next video as well.